Hello, this is Pumpkin the Gentleman. I know a lot has been going on. I know a lot has been said. I was in fact irresponsible and immature. Although in this video, I'm going to be clearing up most of the allegations that were either taken out of context or cropped, I'm also going to be going over my own actions and wrongdoings. This is the list of the allegations I'm going to be clearing. Each has its own timestamp. The reason why I'm turning this into a video on YouTube is because on TikTok, I've cleared some of these allegations before. However, TikTok users reported my videos, making TikTok take them down. Moving on with the video, I'm now going to start clearing these allegations. I'm going to be going over this tweet I made back in April when I was 18 towards my close mutual who was 16 to 17, a 2-year age gap, where I said, "When you are older," as a response to them saying they wanted to get rizzed by me. Although this was just a joke between me and my friend, it came off terribly wrong. I could have worded it better. I was not aware that this was a frequent term used by groomers or when grooming, nor was I aware that this term implies that I was waiting for them to become legal so that I could do certain things, which by no means did I intend to imply. I have never sexually interacted with this mutual. I've never sexually messaged this mutual. I never asked of anything from this mutual, let alone anything sexual. I have never expected or wanted anything sexual from this mutual or with this mutual. This is his testimony and his opinion on that situation. However, I understand how people misinterpreted that tweet, completely understand people's reaction to that tweet. And I appreciate those who came forward and told me what was wrong with the tweet and how to better improve my wording moving forward, which shortly afterwards I did delete the tweet. Next, people have accused me of calling a person's suicide pathetic, based on this screenshot of my tweet. This person is my mutual, we are friends. I'm not going to go into detail on the situation because that is not my place to do so, though I will add that during the time of this tweet, I did let my emotions and anger get the better of me. I was not calling this person's suicide attempt pathetic, but rather their legacy and what they would be known as afterwards. However, that does not excuse my rash wording and emotions. I could have approached that situation much more maturely and better. The rest of the situation is between me and my friend. We're cool, we're chill. I am aware of this screenshot of my deleted tweet is making its rounds around social media. Without the given context, it seems as if I'm using Japan as an excuse for my irresponsible actions. However, that is not the case. This deleted tweet was a response to a person who asked me a question, which was, why did I think posting suggestive art with a bulge was okay in the first place? This question was asked to me after I deleted the overly suggestive art and moved it into my NSFW account. To which I then explained that based on how I grew up and what I saw, certain things were normalized. I then go on to explain in depth of how highly suggestive material was allowed to be consumed by a younger audience from where I grew up, which was in Japan, and that because of that, I thought my content was a lot more tamed compared to that. These tweets were not me using them as an excuse to justify my actions, but rather to explain them to a user who asked me about it. The user asked me, why do you think it was okay in the first place? So I explained to them my mindset, why I had that mindset, and so on. However, as shown in the screenshot, I deleted the tweet shortly after I posted it. Reason being that I realized that it doesn't matter where I grew up. It doesn't change the fact that I was irresponsible with my younger audience. and that I should have not posted such highly suggestive material to a younger audience, that including of a bulge. Moving on, there are these screenshots that have been shown claiming that I am liking and replying to minors' comments. I have checked both of these accounts, even this one. All three show no indication of their age or their age at all whatsoever in their bio. So I'm not sure how I was supposed to know if they were a minor. I'm not even sure how you know they even were a minor, and if you just assumed. However, I will say that during the time I first started this account, and as my account grew popular, I do not and cannot check every single user who comments, likes, or follows my account. Though I do agree that my past behaviors were unnecessary. I did not need to respond to these flirtatious comments, nor did I need to respond in such a manner either. Yes, I agree. I was immature with how I interacted with my fans during the start of my account and throughout, which is why I am and have been working on fixing my behaviors. Speaking of which, there has been these screenshots going around saying that I was flirting and talking to a 12-year-old. I will say that I have no memory of these conversations or screenshots or of this user. I cannot find the messages between me and this user, so I can't prove or disprove anything. I do not have a reliable memory due to certain circumstances and substances. But what I do remember is that back when I first started this TikTok account, which was when I was 17, which at this time I had very, very few fans. Because of this, when a fan reached out and wanted to have a conversation with me, become friends, I agreed. So I answered most DMs. Some were casual, some were people venting to me, some were flirtatious. The mistake I made back then, because like I said, when I first started my account, I was still underage, was that I didn't check the ages for the people I was flirting back with. Because in my head, I thought, oh, if someone's flirting with me, they're probably around my age. So I just assumed that they were. Because I assumed minors should have known better. However, I should have known better and should have been more careful and aware of who I was speaking to. I have had incidences where a close friend of mine turned out to have lied to me about their age when I asked. One user, who I was friends with for about 5 to 7 months, at first told me that they were 14 when I asked for the age halfway through our friendship. I was baffled because we've exchanged certain messages before, which then followed up immediately afterwards, them telling me, actually, I'm 20, which sadly I bought it because in my head, it made sense from what the type of sexual messages they would send to me. Eventually, I hit a time where it was pretty rough in real life, and me and their friendship slowly died out. Which later afterwards, I come to find out that they were indeed actually 14 and lied to me for clout. Another one happened on my NSFW account where a mutual of mine who was an NSFW voice actor and was friends with other NSFW artists turned out to be underage. Due to these incidences, a little after I turned 18, which was last year during the summer, I stopped this behavior of personally interacting with people. As in, I stopped replying to DMs. Whether it was DMs supporting me or asking me questions, I stopped interacting with fans personally. Even with my own mutuals, which they can tell you how dry I am. I'm there for my mutuals if they really, really need someone to talk to or listen to, maybe a quick chat. But other than that, I mostly closed myself off. So although I do not continue that behavior now, I still do apologize for my unprofessionalism back then. Moving on, however, people are claiming that I posted a dick pic to a bunch of minors. That is a hypocritical lie. From the screenshot alone that this person used, it is clear that you took a post out of my NSFW labeled account with the emojis 18 or denied. Even if you look at the bottom right corner, you'd see the option hide. Hide what, you may ask? Hide the flags I put up for that post. You want to know what the flag said? Author labeled this post nudity. There were warnings, there were labels, and there were flags. Yet you as a minor ignored them, took it out of my account that was specifically for an adult audience, not minors, and then reposted it to your minor fan base. And guess what your minor fan base did? They reposted it, and it went across the internet. And yet you still accuse me of posting my dick pic to minors? Especially given that that was my real body part, I feel incredibly violated. Because that picture was for a specific audience, which was adults only. Minors denied, yet you disrespected my boundaries as a minor and reposted it to other minors who then just basically showed it to the world. I know some will argue that, oh, well, your NSFW account is public, so of course minors will get into it. But here's the thing. My account is labeled as adult content with all posts flagged. This means that if you input your birthday and it happens to show that you are a minor, Twitter will add a specific filter called age restricted so that you cannot view adult content until you are an adult, which is 18. So in order for a minor to have access to any of my media, that would mean that they lie about their age when inputting their birth date to give them an adult age so that they'll be able to view adult content. Which in that case, that is not my fault. Of course, when I noticed or am notified that a minor is following me or interacting with my NSFW content, I will immediately block. However, I will not notice and catch every single one, nor is it my duty to. If a minor lied about their age and cannot respect and abide by the rules, the warnings, and the labels that are given to them for their safety, they should not be on the internet. And that is not my job or responsibility. That is theirs. And if they cannot handle such a simple responsibility for themselves and their safety, they should not be on the internet, let alone Twitter. There was only one incident, which people keep on bringing up, where I allowed a minor into my account. In this screenshot, which was practically last year, I was freshly 18. Yes, I started my account or started posting on it the moment I turned 18. Due to this, in the screenshot, I was only 2 months older than this person who was going to turn 18 in just a few days. So I thought, okay, there's not really much of a difference. Sure. Of course, after 1 year of actually having an NSFW account, I now know how to manage it better. As in, yes, now I know that there are no exceptions. You're either 18 and older. If you're younger, you're out. I've been doing my part, blocking minors when I see them. However, it will be extremely helpful if minors just stayed out of minor denied places. You guys can read. I know you guys ain't stupid. I know you guys can read. If it says minors denied, don't go in. Don't interact. And lastly, my identity. People have been saying that I've been faking my race, my gender, my age. People have been saying I'm too light. People are saying that I'm white. All this kind of stuff. Reason being is because this video resurfaced and people mistook it as me. This is my cousin. So, quick story on how this account started. Halloween of 2022, my cousin wanted me to paper mache her a pumpkin head. So I did, and along with that, I gave her my suit, which was too tiny for me at that point. After she wore it, she made an animation for it, and she posted a picture for me in my costume. Remember, for me, not of me. After she did, I realized, wait, this could potentially become a character. And given her already having a YouTube channel and Instagram, she's already knew about social media, she is willing to help. And also given that she is quitting her YouTube channel that year because she was burning out, she was enthusiastic and pitched in on, hey, how about we start an account together? So we did. She was sort of the mascot of the account since she already wore the costume. She was the one who posted like the dancing vids and the pictures and my apron, yada yada. I was the one who posted the art and the cooking pics. And when it came to art, I was still sort of a beginner, so she'd help by drawing me pose references, which I then used to heavily reference my art, which would explain the similar art styles as you guys are claiming it to be. If you even bother to check my first video on my YouTube channel, you'd see in the description I shout out to her channel for helping me with my animations and art. However, as the account quickly got popular, I realized that it was slowly and not only really endangering me, but mostly endangering her, especially given that she was and still is a minor. And during March 2023, after her full name and personal information got doxxed, my decision was finalized to kick her off of the account. I then deleted all videos, photos, and any content that contained her in it, which was only on my TikTok. However, sadly, recently, more than a year later, people have resurfaced these videos and pictures. So if you had reposted these photos containing my cousin or videos, please delete them. These are the screenshots between me and her of her confirming that it is indeed true. I know people will notice, oh, well, how come these messages are back in May and not last year when she was kicked off of the account? Well, the reason being is that this isn't the first time that people thought that we were the same person, because back in May, another user doxed her full name and face, thinking it was me again. So these screenshots are used as in like a witness testimony, if you will. And here's the thing, I know people are coming up with all kinds of theories right now. Oh, well, you got some skin tone. Oh, we got some of the hands. Oh, you got yada. Listen, Sherlock Holmes. Sometimes stuff is just not that complicated. Sometimes it's just not that deep. She is her. I am me. So here's proof of my identity. Here, born 2005, baby. I just turned 19 this summer. Hint, I'm a Cancer. Sex, M. You want to know what M stands for? Male. はい、これは俺の日本のパスポートです。茨城県で生まれたです。俺は半分日本人、半分黒人です。俺はね、まあ、3から4年前にアメリカに来たです。もう、俺わかってる。日本語の喋り方、超下手くそ。日本語の書き方、超下手くそ。なぜなら、アメリカ来た時、まあ、日本人けど、俺の外観は黒人なの。黒人みたいな人はアクセントがあって、ちょっと恥ずかしいの。それから、英語の授業を受けて、まあ、日本語の喋り方、下手くそになったの。まあまあ、ちょっと、 Now, moving on with my skin tone. I am Blasian. That affects my melatonin. And it made my melatonin lighter, making me a light skin. But being a light skin, the tone of my skin doesn't invalidate my ethnicity or my race. I'm sorry that I'm not black enough for you, but that doesn't change the fact that I am half black. So no, I did not fake my race. I am indeed half black, half Japanese. Also, y'all gotta know about lighting and weather. That does in fact change your skin tone from time to time. When it's winter, hell yeah, I look like a cracker. When I'm under certain light, yes, my skin tone can change. It could look more orange, it could look more grayish, it could look more light. This is my base tone. This is my base skin color. Compared to my art, it is heavily similar. The only difference is that my art is more contrast. So yes, my skin tone in my art will appear more contrast. Also, people have been concerningly obsessed with my body type, which I find to be incredibly weird. I am a 5'10" male who's a bit muscular and a little bit chubby. I know people are saying that I draw myself fat, but this is not fat. Yes, I'm a bit chubby, but I never drew myself fat. I mean, yeah, I call myself a fat ass or fat fuck because I eat a lot, but come on now. This is my body type versus how I draw myself. And here's the thing, guys. I hope you guys do realize that weight gain and weight loss is a thing. You guys do know that, right? I didn't have this physique all my life. Up until I was 16, I did have a muscular but slender kind of body. 17, 18, I was bulking up. And then 19 right now, I'm gaining some weight. I am not diagnosed. I'm not saying I have an eating disorder. But I do have times where I eat a lot for like 3 to 4 days straight. And then for a week and a half, I don't eat anything at all. Well, I gotta have like maybe one food or snack a day. So yeah, I have unhealthy habits where I gain weight and then I lose weight very quickly. No, I am all up for holding people accountable for my actions. Yes, you are allowed to verbalize their opinion about me and my actions. However, there is a line that needs to be drawn. Holding me accountable does not initiate for you to then make fun of me or make fun of things about me on completely unrelated topics. Coming up with out-of-reach theories, saying I made up baby boo pumpkin situation, which then someone made a fake screenshot to add to that claim. People impersonating me to say disgusting things. Doubting and making fun of me being a CSA and rape victim. To then a user making a Gooner rap battle with me in it, using these lyrics to make fun of my mom committing incestuous acts on me. In addition, I'd like to add that many people have brought up my hypersexuality, claiming that I use it as an excuse for my actions, given that I never brought up my hypersexuality, even once, when it came to allegations, because that's not how hypersexuality works. Now, have I made a post bringing awareness to hypersexuality? Yes. Have I vented about my experiences with hypersexuality? Yes. Have I answered questions to those who asked me about hypersexuality? Yes. But I have never, ever used hypersexuality as a shield or as an excuse for my wrongdoings. As a matter of fact, I have talked about and made posts about these types of people who do use hypersexuality as a shield. Because as long as I can remember, the hypersexual community has faced so many toxic, harmful stereotypes. Oh, so do you just want to touch people? Do you want to break people? Hypersexuality does not make you want to commit sexual acts towards a specific person or group. Hypersexuality is a compulsive sexual disorder that comes with an uncontrollable obsession with sexual thoughts, urges, and behaviors. However, hypersexuality more so affects how you see yourself and what you do to yourself. In fact, there are many cases where hypersexuals do not like being touched. Yes, they have urges and thoughts and touch themselves, but they do not like being touched, especially by others. Given an example that there are in fact asexuals out there who have hypersexuality. Yes, they do exist. Yes, it is possible. And yes, they are just as valid. But back to the main point, you do not need to make stuff up to show that I am in the wrong. Concluding this video, I was in the wrong. It was in fact incredibly irresponsible with how I handled and interacted with my audience. I was also in fact immature and stubborn when it came to handling criticism, because most of this would have been avoided if I had just listened and have been more cautious with my platform. And I do deeply apologize to those I have negatively affected and influenced. Both of my accounts, my main one and my NSFW alt account on Twitter, will both be cited at 18+. However, be aware that on my main account, although it is cited at 18+, no nudity or pornography will be posted on there. That is for my NSFW alt, which is also set at 18+. On TikTok, the age viewing will stay 16+, in which I did delete my overly suggestive videos so that that account can stay 16+. And on TikTok especially, I will be more careful and cautious with the content I post moving forward. I know many are telling me to leave the internet and never come back, though I have taken this break to reflect on what I've done and what I could do to improve my actions moving forward and to not make the same mistake again. I will come back and I will show that I have changed, I have improved, I have learned that I can and will do better with handling my platform and me as a person. Thank you guys for your incredible patience. I also appreciate and am thankful for the people who believe in me and are willing to give me a chance to show that I can do better. Though I also understand to those who don't forgive me for my actions and criticize me for them. I completely agree. I should be held accountable and face consequences for my actions, which I have been. However, that does not mean that I'm not allowed to change and improve from it. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a good one. This video is to clear up any out-of-reach or already explained allegations. My brother's Father's Day card. The picture of this drawing was sent to me by my stepmom. My little bro is not my real brother, but I still consider him as one, given I helped to take care and raise him. For whatever given reason, people are offended that my brother colored me darker than my actual skin tone. Again, I wasn't there when he drew this drawing, so I don't know what his reasons were. But using logic, it may be because that was the only brown skin tone marker that he had. Given that he colored himself with the same marker color, even though that is not his actual skin tone either. People are also speculating that I drew it because we have similar styles, which, although I never taught him how to draw, I did draw with him, which then he would try to be inspired or copy how I draw. However, I will say, it does not take a style to draw the smiley face. It consists of 3 lines. You don't need a style to draw the smile. But believe what you want, it doesn't matter. My little bro made that drawing for me, not you guys. I cherish it, and I appreciate it, and that's all that matters. Many people are accusing me of sexualizing Kuromi, who is canonically 6 years old, which many people pointed out, due to me using the term baddie towards her. The context? I was talking about my Kuromi pants. In my understanding, I thought baddie was a short term for bad bitch. A bad bitch who doesn't take shit. Especially with all the fan art, edits, and merch I've seen a Kuromi with the word baddie associated with her. But after talking with my friends, I now know that the term baddie can also mean something sexual, and that it really depends on the context, by which this context was not sexual. It was not intended to be sexual. I was just talking about my Kuromi pants because I am a Kuromi fan. People were offended and angered by this screenshot where a user threatened to rape me, which is not unusual. I received many threats, which I then responded in a humorous manner, which successfully scared him off. I don't know why people are angered by this, given that you weren't the one who received the threat. I understand that my response comes off insensitive to rape victims. However, being one myself, I'm allowed to make jokes about my trauma. Using humor to cope is not an unheard of coping mechanism. People handle and cope with their trauma in different ways. I will handle my threats how I want to handle it. I don't know why you guys are trying to speak on it when you were never involved in the first place. Moving on to people calling me transphobic due to this post that I reposted and unreposted months ago. This video was a trend going around about how people did not look like the gender they identified as. Saw that some of my trans friends reposted it, so I took that as an okay to repost it as well. After a week of similar videos like these trending, some people started speaking out on how it could come off as offensive to trans people, which then I saw and unreposted that video. In all honesty, I do not care what you identify as or what you go by. Just tell me what you want to be referred to as and I'll call you that. It's not an issue. It's not a hassle. It's basic human decency and respect. I don't know why people are accusing me of claiming to be Latino. What? Hablo español un poco. I do a little speaky Spanish, but I never said I was Hispanic. It's probably based off this video, which people, again, taken out of context. It was towards a Latina artist who refused to draw people of color because they don't like drawing people of color. Now I'm going to be going over NSFW stuff from my NSFW account. The lolicon allegation that took place last year. The character we were discussing about was Furiren from the anime known as Furiren, The Journey's End. She is a small, petite woman who is an elf mage, who speaks like, acts like, sounds like, and is an adult. However, using the defense she's 1,000 years old was wrong. I was not aware that it was wrong until someone educated me on how some people make very childlike characters but slap on a big age so that they could get away with certain stuff. Shortly after I was educated, I unreposted that post because I do not support or find attraction to that kind of stuff. And lastly, people are claiming that I reposted a rape comic. The comic was consensual somnophilia. The creator of that comic came out and clarified this. People are also berating me for other things and kinks. Yes, I do have questionable kinks due to certain stuff being done to me in the past. However, all the stuff I have posted and reposted are consensual. If you find these uncomfortable, that is understandable. That is okay. Don't interact with my account. Don't engage with my posts. And remember, guys, my NSFW is adults only. Minors do not interact. But with this, I will continue taking my break to do more reflection and have a better understanding so that, again, this won't repeat. Thank you all for bearing with me and having the patience to listen to my side of the story. Thank you for also holding me accountable for my actions and wrongdoings and giving me your honest criticism, which I will then use to, again, work on and better improve my behaviors and myself as a person. Thank you, and I hope you have a good one.